Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. It's 6 o'clock on your Wednesday. I'm Sean Moody in for Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. It is Wednesday, September 16th.
Now at 6 o'clock, details about a major traffic alert, why part of the Bluegrass Parkway is shut down this morning.
Today is your chance to weigh in on the future of some historical statues in downtown Lexington.
And a recap of last night's debate between three candidates for Kentucky governor.
And we're having a look outside, sitting there in the 50s. It's a pretty decent start to the day. It isn't all that bad. Not too chilly out and about like the past couple of mornings. 82 by the afternoon, very pleasant weather in store. We get a little bit warmer. It usually indicates rain on the way. I'll have that weekend forecast coming up.
Thanks, Micah. The big traffic alert this morning if you're heading out toward Nelson County. Part of the Bluegrass Parkway is shut down because of a semi crash.
We're told the semi crashed last night in Nelson County. The parkway shut down in both directions and is expected to stay that way for several more hours this morning. WKYT's Mark Barber is live at the scene with the latest information for us.
Good morning, Rebecca and Sean. The tanker that crashed here near Bardstown was carrying oil. Now, crews here tell me that their biggest fear is that oil was leaking out onto the road and into the area around it. However, they say at this time it appears as if no oil is leaking out of the tanker. So what crews are working to do right now is they are pumping the oil out of the wrecked tanker and they are putting it into another tanker that is nearby. They say when they have finished that, they will work to get this mangled tanker up out of the ditch that it crashed into and out of here. Now, that is going to take some time. To give you an idea of just how much time, this happened around 9:30 last night, according to the officials here at the scene. We're told that they may not have this wreck cleared up until 8:30 this morning. So this is going to take about 11 hours to clear up. Crews still very hard at work this morning. They say they have a lot of work ahead of them. Again, they're still trying to get that oil out of that tanker. So if you are planning to head toward Nelson County today in the Bardstown area, maybe down toward Elizabethtown or Nashville, you may want to start looking for an alternate route if you are planning to come through Nelson County before 8:30 this morning. Now, the area that is completely shut down in both directions is between mile marker 21 and 24 in Nelson County. That is just outside of Bardstown. Now, as for what caused this crash, emergency management officials tell me they're still trying to figure that out. However, they say that the driver of this tanker was the only one involved in the crash, and we're told that he was airlifted to a hospital in Louisville with a punctured lung as well as a punctured spleen. Of course, that's the latest here in Nelson County. We will continue to follow this and bring you the latest traffic updates through WKYT This Morning and online at WKYT.com. Live in Nelson County, Mark Barber, WKYT.
It's quite a mess down there. Thanks so much, Mark. Interstate 64 is back open after an early morning crash. The sheriff's office says that the driver of a pickup swerved to avoid a deer. He ended up clipping a semi and flipping his truck. He was not hurt. Police did have to shut down the westbound lanes for a while in order to get the truck towed away. It is now back open. All new this morning, we're trying to track down details about an overnight stabbing in Powell County. Dispatchers tell us it's happened in Stanton. That's about all we know. We'll bring you more information as soon as we get it this morning. Well, today a group of experts will weigh in on the placement of some historical statues and a marker in downtown Lexington.
And today's meeting is open to the public. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain is live with details on today's meeting. Good morning, Michelle.
Yeah, Sean, this board will meet today to discuss the future of these historical landmarks, such as the one behind me of John C. Breckenridge. The meeting will consist of 5 experts who will discuss the future of these historical statues and a marker. Now, that marker describing the slave trade was vandalized in July and is being replaced. The marker was in a park at Short and Upper Streets. Today's discussion will help to decide the placement of that marker and the future of the 2 historical statues of Morgan and Breckenridge, who were Confederate generals. Now, both statues are located in downtown Lexington. These landmarks are up for debate following the deadly church shooting in Charleston, South Carolina in June. Lexington Mayor Jim Gray has said in the past that he believes the city must consider the overall effect of these Civil War memorials. He said, quote, "While we should acknowledge our history, we must also ensure an inclusive environment where every Lexingtonian is welcome and supported by our community," end quote. Today's meeting will take place from 3 to 5 o'clock in the Council Chamber Government Center. Everyone is welcome at this meeting. Live in Lexington, Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
Michelle, thank you. 3 candidates hoping to be Kentucky's next governor squared off last night in their first televised debate. Republican Matt Bevin, Democrat Jack Conway, and Independent Drew Curtis debated several hot-button issues facing the Commonwealth last night at Bellarmine University in Louisville. One of the first questions to come up was how each candidate responded to the jailing of Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis. While they disagreed on that, the candidates did come to an agreement on the importance of coal here in Kentucky.
If the technology actually changes, and there was a new solar technology that came out about 2 months ago that dropped it down to 4 cents a kilowatt hour, now we're starting to talk about a competitive price, and that might actually be the thing that puts coal in jeopardy. But as long as coal has the price power, they're in charge.
Coal is critical. There's more being consumed now than ever in the history of the world, and we need to participate here in Kentucky.
And I've been the only Democratic Attorney General in the country to stand up to the EPA when it is overreached and has tried to hurt our coal industry, and not just hurt our coal industry, Sam, but hurt our low-cost electricity advantage, which we use to lure jobs here in all sorts of sectors.
Now, the next debate will be for the lieutenant governor's race. Sandy Overly and Janine Hampton will answer questions on September 23rd. The gubernatorial candidates will square off again at EKU on October 25th.
A Knox County man is accused of selling drugs at a school. Barberville police charged 18-year-old Dante Brown with trafficking. A juvenile was also taken into custody. Police say Brown was selling something advertised as LSD. 2 students who bought the drug had to be taken to the hospital. They have been released. Well, this morning, police in Laurel County are looking for the driver behind a hit-and-run crash. Deputies say a semi hit an SUV on Kentucky 229 south of London. The driver of the SUV taken to the UK hospital with serious injuries. Police say the semi has damage to the front driver's side. A Boyle County bank was damaged when a car crashed into the foyer. 2 people in the car had to be taken to the hospital after crashing into the Chase Bank at 3rd and Main Streets. Witnesses told police that one car ran a red light and hit another car, sending that one into that bank. No one inside the bank was hurt.
Workers at a Bell County plant will soon be out of a job. Dorrough Line says it will close before the end of the year. More than 100 people work there. A spokesperson said non-union employees will get a severance package and union members will be compensated by the union. Dorrough Line plans to close on December 15th. Well, one Kentucky creek is home to a little bit of an unusual guest.
Yeah, very strange. A Louisville TV station says a 3-foot-long alligator living in Skaggs Creek, which is a stream near Barren River Lake. Kentucky Fish and Wildlife says it is aware of the gator, but says it is actually not a threat to people. Officials think the alligator was someone's pet that got loose.
I think, if I were in the water and came face to face, I might feel a little threatened, but,
hey, we're playing the Gators on Saturday, so yeah, it's fitting.
He may be a mascot for somebody when they come up here. We'll see. Let's check it.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris and First Alert Defender.
Down in the Tri-County area down south, nothing going on. Not really even any fog forming there across the interstates. You can see the lights off in the distance. Typically, I like to show this. I know it's just one black screen with one blob of light off in the distance, but that's why I like to look at it, to look off in the distance and see if we actually do have some fog forming. Nothing going on right now, and you got to work into some of these waterways, some of these valley regions. You're going to be running into that, but other than that, it is a clear start. Walked outside this morning. You could see every star up in the sky. It's a beautiful morning. Temperatures are there in the 50s. Maybe somebody's backyard thermometer there in the 40s, but all in all, it's a little bit warmer this morning. Not warm, but warmer than the past couple of mornings. Very pleasant. Heading into the afternoon, we're right there in the lower 80s. We finished off in the upper 70s, lower 80s yesterday, and we're all going to be there in the lower 80s today. Great afternoon in store. Heading off into the night and into tomorrow. Gets a little bit warmer, 54 this morning, 56 tomorrow morning. You get the drift. And typically that indicates at least some rain on the way. It doesn't usually indicate a lot of rain, but just at least some. And a weekend front starts to slide on in here, and that will give us a shot at maybe a couple of showers, maybe a rumble of thunder there for a ball game. I wouldn't expect that to be a washout by any means for any events going on. Jessamine County Fall Festival, you guys got yours going on Friday through the weekend there in Nicholasville. Black Gold Festival kicking off tomorrow through your weekend. And you guys are going to have fantastic weather. I'll show you that in your 7-day, but temps, they take a bit of a hit, and that's what we're going to be really focusing in on with that front. However, that front will give us that chance of rain. As of right now, as you're watching this morning, I do not expect any rain during the daylight hours. I say daylight hours, most of the daylight hours, which means most of your afternoon's good, all your mornings just fine. tailgating will be just fine. Going off into the game, I think that's when it gets a little bit tricky, a little dicey, is you could have that small chance of rain slide on in here. So all in all, it's definitely not a washout, with just something we need to be watching. That was Shiloh Park here in Lexington. Disc golf playing with all that weather. It's perfect weather to get out to the park. This is Kyle Howard. Appreciate that very much. Here's a pretty cool shot as that fog was over Burnside Marina down south. As it started to lift, it turns into these clouds, and then those clouds just slowly fade away once they reach a point in the atmosphere. There's Shonda Mounts. We appreciate that very much. That was your Twitter picks of the day. Here's your 7-day, what you can expect next few days. The only difference, not really the look, it's the feel. It gets a little bit warmer as we slide into the rest of your work week. Saturday, remember that chance of rain is late in the day, off into the evening and nighttime hours. And then we start to pick up a few more chances as we head toward next week. But a big blast of cooler air slides right back in here. So it's that time of year you get those fronts one after another trying to transition. That's what we'll see this week.
Well, that'll be good because you're right about the warm-up. Came in from a walk with the dogs yesterday. Had to turn on that AC again.
It's a little warmer.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. And I do believe we'll see that each and every day from here on out.
And then cold eventually.
That's right.
Each morning we bring you weather and traffic together. Here's Officer Don with a look at what's happening out on the roads. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Got a couple of issues. One, of course, the Bluegrass Parkway in Bardstown had problems with that hazmat spill there. That's had the lanes traveling toward Lexington shut down for a while as they continue to clean that up. And then I-64 in Frankfort, a report of an overturned pickup truck that police are still managing to try to work traffic around. As we get a live look outside, Main and Mill Street downtown, I can see a little work still going on there, but it's pretty light traffic, so we're working our way past that. Around the city on our Waze map, live drivers reporting normal traffic flow on the Circle, also on the exit ramps off the interstate at least, as we get a live look right there at an overall view of Lexington and no major issues. Now back to you in the studio.
All right, more news from WKYT this morning is still on the way. It's 6:11 on your Wednesday morning.
Donald Trump maintains his lead, but another GOP presidential candidate hoping to move up more in the polls after tonight's second debate.
And coffee for just a quarter? Why, one supermarket chain is practically giving away cups of Joe. Bring them to this desk right now, please.
Please.